Welcome back, everybody, to Total Nonstop Impact Talk for Impact fans right here on the YouTube, on the Twitch, and wherever you get your podcasts worldwide. I am Bill, sitting in the host chair tonight for the Bone Man, who is in the chat. So definitely, if you're in the live chat, join the Bone Man there. He'll be dealing with all the comments tonight, but we'll still be interacting. The East Coast crew, as we like to say. So this could be a quick one. You never know with us. But that all depends on the audience. So, Alisha, how are you doing tonight?
I am doing well. How about yourself?
Doing good. Getting ready for another loop of tapings coming up this weekend, Saturday and Sunday, over in the, as they like to say, greater Cincinnati area.
Oh,
Kentucky there.
Ohio.
Across the bridge. Yeah. So still heavy Ohio. I think we talked last time. They're definitely going to be getting some of that Skyline chili, I'm sure.
So Skyline.
If you know, you know.
If you know, you know.
The cinnamon chili.
Cinnamon meat stuff.
So look who's in the chat there. Daniel Spencer in the house.
Oh, hey-o.
And you know what, Daniel? I was I wound up a couple days, like earlier in the week, I saw the OVW match announced tonight. Not sure if you were at OVW, but it was EC3 versus Shira. So I was like, oh, can I squeeze that into the schedule? But then I'm like, wait, it ain't till Saturday, the tapings. So it really wouldn't have worked out. But definitely a good look. I'm going to have to tune into that one. Two of my favorites right there. So, but let me give a shout out first to, before we started here, to Punk with the super sticker. Thank you very much. And I just saw Rayline with the bits, Team Twitch. Thank you very much. Obviously, if you are so inclined, feel free to tip or whatever you like in the YouTube or the Twitch. And obviously, thank you to all of our members. I see a bunch of them in here. Feel free to become a member. It's a great way to support the show. I see Coach Keefe. I see John Palmer in the chat. I know Justin's in the chat. I'm trying to see all of them because usually J-Bone has more of the eyes on the on that. I'm not sure actually where to find that on here. I'm going off memory right now. But I know they're all members.
I actually have to reboot really quick because my screen has gone dark.
Oh, that old screen going dark.
This darn laptop. It only happens on StreamYard. Anyway, I'll be right back.
All right. Alicia's going to check out for a second. So we're going to go solo, little Han Solo action for a bit here. And thank you, Daniel, for confirming you ref that match tonight. Very cool. Looking forward to seeing that. Hopefully can make it back out there soon. All right. Oh yes, and he did the 6, and we'll get all into that 16-man tag match, the Champions Challenge, the biggest main event in TNA history. Oh, look at Coach Keefe calling for courts on the show. Well, hey, the invitation's open. We always welcome the TNI fam on the show. So members that are interested, definitely on the Discord. If you're not a member of Discord, get on the Discord. Definitely let us know your interest. We're always open to having guests on the show, get more vantage points, especially from our longtime members of the community here. That's always a great thing to have. So while we're waiting for Alisha to jump back on, there you go. Courtney will come on. All right, we'll get you on there, Courtney. Not a ton of news out there. Obviously, no J-Bone there, so feel free to make comments, J-Bone, if you have news of your own. But regarding news out there, I know in former TNA news, it was announced that BCW, Border City Wrestling, Scott D'Amore's company, will be having a show at St. Clair at the Sportsplex there on Father's Day, a free show, which is very cool. So definitely support them. Anybody watching this in that area. I know there's not a lot of other wrestling options in that area, so definitely check it out. But I know there's been more merch dropping, so definitely stay tuned to that. Like it seems like on the t-shirt game, there's that new Joe Hendry shirt, which I believe like instantly all that was left was small, like right after it was released, like a few hours later. So definitely check that out. I know I'll be looking at the merch stand because people are already contacting me saying, can you get these shirts? We'll see. It's brand new, so I don't know if it'll be at the merch stand, but it'll be a test. Hopefully. Let's see. I see Dragons. Oh yeah. I think this was we heard this at the end of last week, but it was definitely confirmed during the broadcast tonight about the tickets going on sale. Not this Saturday, next Saturday. They're originally going to be this Saturday for Slammiversary, but there is this whole this Monday, like they're doing a whole thing up in Montreal to really promote Slammiversary, which is very cool. Montreal week, Canada week. Yeah, I know it's coming up. I think you have to order by the end of the month, if I'm not wrong, J-Bone. But the figs, like they're getting more and more details, like with the soft clothes and all that stuff, and they are looking pretty sick. I know the Bone Man is going to be getting them all, so look forward to that. Special shout out to member Coach Keefe on his promotion, offensive line assistant coach. Very cool, Coach. And there it is. I did see Justin there, May 31st. I think Alisha has rebooted, is back in. Okay. There you go.
All right, fingers crossed, y'all.
The light has been seen. You're back.
I gotta stop enlarging the screen. That seems to be the issue.
Enlarging the screen. No
enlarging the screen. I just gotta chill.
Yes, you got to do the opposite. The non-chew. No. Decrease.
Yes.
J-Bone. That's for you. Because I know you would have liked that. But yeah, I was pretty much going over what news is out there. Honestly, not a ton of news going into like a new loop. There's been some merch, but not really a ton going on. There has been matches announced for the tapings, and I'll highlight one because we're seeing somebody, I think, have their first official TNA match. Was on TNA, but not really, like through like digital matches, not filmed for TNA. But Shaza McKenzie will be wrestling at the tapings.
Okay.
And I know she always references TNA a lot over the last handful of years. So that definitely seems something that was definitely a fan of TNA. So someone that's been talking about it for a while will get that chance to be there. So I'm looking forward to that. But I believe it's going to be facing a favorite of mine who had their 6th match tonight. It will be their 7th match, and that is Ash.
Oh, okay.
And I see Billy here, another big super fan. Tasha Steeles pulled off GCW show this Saturday with SDL. Yeah, because I don't know if you saw that, Alisha, but GCW was running in Philly at the casino. And like Tasha was originally announced for it. And I guess also was Steph DeLander was announced for it. and then it was like, oh, I guess Tasha won't be at the tapings, or she won't be there for at least one of the days. But she got pulled from that. And now, obviously, she's now announced for, I believe, both days of tapings in matches. So just kind of showing you, and obviously what we see with the main event with Steph DeLander, they surprisingly may have, like, Steph DeLander, what are your thoughts? We'll talk about it right now and before we get to it. But Steph DeLander, without the Cardona portion of it, felt like, okay, she was going to face Jordynne, and maybe that's it. But now she's kind of has a thing, and now she has like a big storyline with PCO.
Yeah, it's interesting direction they're going with her, because she is aligned with Khan in I want to call him Zach for some reason.
Zach.
In Matt Cardona's. I'm sorry. That was an intrusive thought. But in his absence, it's not a direction I would have assumed they went, but I think it's interesting. A little bit of a romance thing they've got brewing here, huh?
Yeah. They haven't got
a
something.
Monster in Love.
We'll Steph may be there both days, but maybe just one. Because I think there has been some errors on the matches they've announced, because Matt Hardy, I think, was advertised for one day, but then he corrected it and said, actually, I'll be there the other day. But I don't think they ever addressed the graphics. But I know obviously Tasha will be there for both days. But yeah, we'll be interested to see, because like I'm surprised, but I'm pleasantly surprised. I think it's something I know has been a topic on the Discord, the current state of the knockouts division and kind of where it's going, because there has obviously we saw some big people leave over the last year. And obviously Jordynne, huge there at the top of the card. Like, can't do better than that, but that's almost the issue, where we've seen at times with the tag division, sometimes in the X division, where you have somebody that's just like looks unbeatable. Can they build somebody else up? So it kind of makes it tougher for the rest of the division. But we'll talk about some things that happened on tonight's episode that I know I've been saying on this review show for a while should be happening, and it seems like they might be happening now. So we'll get on that. And one last thing to kind of cap off news. Any news on Tessa? I'd say no.
Mum's the word.
Seemed like there was those rumblings a couple weeks ago, pretty much pre Under Siege. There was some talks of that, but it doesn't seem like anything new is on
that we know of
the Tessa train. Like, doesn't mean stuff are going behind. Like, once again, PW insiders usually that doesn't just throw stuff out there, and they're the ones that threw that out there. But then I know pretty much through rumblings, it was like, nah, she's not, no, that's not happening. But I still feel that was putting it out there for future. Like I said, I didn't think it was going to be soon, but 3 months, 6 months down the line, that's when you start testing to see what the fan base how they'll react to it. So, but obviously, I think you're looking at two supporters of a yes on that subject. At least one for me. All right. So that's pretty much news. I'm just seeing what the Smash Man in there was going to be saying, but nothing more on news. So let's get into the show. And it is the May 16th edition of TNA Impact on Access TV and the YouTube Ultimate Insiders. So we start with the one, the only, the friend of the show, the personal concierge, the Iceman in the ring, to give us the only introduction worthy of Ash by Elegance, who is we got big thing on the line in this match, Alisha. We got the bejeweled Knucks. The bejeweled Knucks.
Okay, so that's what they were, is bejeweled Knucks.
Yes.
Okay.
Only the best for Ash by Elegance.
Alarm, sorry.
And that's the sign that we keep on going. But so, and obviously we get the rematch now with Xia Brookeside.
Mm-hmm.
And we do have obviously the ref that was under the lawyers may need to be called on ref page. And but we're getting the match here, the good back and forth. But we get a win by Ash by Elegance with the Swanton bomb off the top. Now there was
little
some
assistance. It wasn't necessarily the cleanest match.
Yeah, what are you saying? Are you saying the Iceman may have gotten involved? How about that ref spot?
Allegedly.
If Daniel Spencer's still in the chat, if he can let us know his feelings on, because it just seemed like it wasn't taken seriously. The Iceman did his Superman reveal of the ref.
They tried.
Then, like, Tom Hannafin's like, oh, that doesn't mean anything. I think the Drama King was on board with it, but where's the ref bylaws on a match like this? The Iceman seemed to get no possibility of reffing this match. Special enforcer, even.
You can wear the stripes, but it doesn't make it official.
No, he's trained somewhere. Mail order.
Yeah. Well, they tried, and you know, in regards to that, they did end up getting the win. So I guess it wasn't for nothing. But I feel like Xia got a little bit of just desserts in after this match wrapped up.
So all right. So you're going with some just desserts here. The punch with the knucks.
Yeah. Yes.
Oh, so he's not a licensed referee.
There you go.
So Iceman or the personal concierge, you got to get licensed. That's what he should do, though. He should show up and put the papers, like throw the papers down, be like, I'm official, I'm licensed. Santino says it's okay.
Something to keep in mind. Get the papers.
Get the papers.
Get the papers next time.
Oh, and look, he's spilling the tea. You're drinking coffee? He's spilling tea. He stole that shirt from Frank's gear. Oh no. Ref Frank, you gotta pay attention.
That's beautiful.
So after this match, what do you think? What do you think the future is? Do you think unresolved still? We still got Xia and Ash, or what do you think?
I get the vibe that we might get one, maybe two more out of this rivalry, if that's what we're gonna call it. We shall see.
All right. It does seem like there's going to be more. I can't imagine Ash with that streak we saw. Now, did you go back and see? I know we talked about it. The Under Siege match where Havoc got knocked out.
Yes.
So you with the garlic necklace and
I did.
So this version of Ash, the unhinged Ash by Elegance. I don't know if I wants to see that.
It's all been lurking under the surface. You can tell that she's got quite the explosive temperament. So
she does.
Anything to win.
I'm going on both sides right now. I got my Xia shirt.
It could go either way. You know what I mean?
There's the rundown. Ash in her 7 matches. That's match 3 against Xia. Havoc. And 3 locals. I like how he put local competitors. That was very nice. Very nice. So, but now we get, after this is what I was alluding to, because we get a promo, and it's Rosemary backstage. Without getting too much into it, she talks about giving up, like, kind of the stuff that she was attached to, and like she's getting rid of like her, like with the hat she was wearing, but then she references obviously Havoc, Taya, the Allie. Yes, so she makes these references that like it's a new time without them. And this is my feeling on what I've been wanting for a while. it's time to do the Rosemary singles run.
Mm-hmm. That's the
Rosemary
vibe.
up to be the competitor. Now, is that Rosemary as a heel? Maybe, but I think it's just that dark Rosemary character that we saw from the beginning of her run.
A lot of things that I noticed in this promo is her talking about she isn't human. And so
Yes.
I think that correlates with what you're saying.
She's not a human meat suit.
She's not a human meat suit, and she's been playing pretend for too long. And I think, it should be. It's when it comes to Rosemary, I think it's always interesting, just because she's so good at what she does that no matter what they do with her, I think she'll be able to portray it in a very interesting way. So I'm excited.
No, I'm very excited by it. I think.
But
what?
She said Havoc's gone, and I never like hearing that.
Now,
hopefully she's just out on vacation or something. Or
yeah,
injury.
I feel it's gone for right now. I'll still be shocked if we don't see Havoc, because they're going to tape a month of TV coming up this weekend.
She better be at the Philly taping.
As close to her hometown as they'll tape. If she is not part of something that will be revealed in future weeks, I'll be shocked. And that could be, honestly, she might come to face Rosemary as like this new character.
Could be that, because obviously if Rosemary is potentially on a solo run, Havoc would be too. And let's not forget, Havoc too is also a former women's champion.
She is. So if you want to start building up somebody though, like that, just like you saw, like that was with Ash. Like, and Havoc's done that in the past, like former champion, like that is somebody that kind of gets you on the map. Obviously there's a lot of history there.
Yeah. And I was going to say, they really need to start beefing up this women's singles.
I agree.
Division, only because, like we mentioned at the beginning of the show, Jordynne's not lacking in for competition, but like we really need to start beefing people up because there's so much potential.
Yeah, there's no doubt. Like, and I feel like that's something that needs to be done as we approach Slammiversary. Obviously, we don't know our opponent right now, but the way we've been talking, it's like there's nobody on the roster to do it. So you start getting a long build for a Rosemary internally. We'll talk about Giselle later because there's hints of that. And then obviously you still have Ash / Xia. Like Ash with maybe a cleaner win after taking out Havoc, but then she gets laid out by Xia at the end. So it's like, is she going to be a contender with Jordynne? Maybe not. So you keep going back and forth on thinking this stuff.
I would say eventually.
Yeah, it feels like, but it might not even though we're still talking months away.
Yes.
But it'll be here before you know it. So
Agreed. It seems in the wrestling world, everything's in a blink of an eye. But like I'm saying, is we have so many people who could be great potential knockout champions. And so it's just a matter of prioritizing them, I guess, and really starting to build it back up, I should say, rather. And
speaking of prioritizing, we got to make sure to give a shout out to our favorite ring announcer, David Penzer in the chat. Looking for Daniel Spencer, who still may or may not be here. We never know Daniel Spencer.
We love the visits.
He's still ducking me. And shout out to David Penzer, who I know has been making the media rounds on a lot of different like podcasts and news sites. But great stuff. I've been checking them all out as they kind of come through. And he's also selling houses at a record pace. The real estate mogul himself out there, the realtor of choice, David Penzer. But yeah, because I know I saw, I think the one J-Bone in the chat here is referencing the WrestleZone one, which goes and even links to the video with Scott presenting him with that pretty much the the achievement award that he gave him at the end of Final Resolution, and that we're hosting here on the TNI channel. So always great to see that. Much appreciated. See, now that's the comments I like to see. You gonna buy the book, Bill? Yes, I am gonna buy the book, and I sadly am not yet, but I will do that before I leave. So might be too late after the show tonight, but I will put that through tomorrow before I head out on Saturday. And there he is. There we go. We're bringing people together. We're bringing people together here. You love to see it.
Love to see it.
Love to see it. But now,
interesting. Speaking
of loving to see it, we got another match coming back, and it's the return in ring of Alan Angels facing Leon Slater. What'd you think of this one, Alisha? And what are your thoughts on, I guess, both Alan Angels? And I don't think we've talked much about Leon Slater since he's been part of the roster. As I see a turtle swimming.
Is it in view? I was like getting kind of into this match before the I guess the Grisham squinanigans.
Squinanigans
began.
There was squinanigans during this match.
I really like what they're doing with Grisham. It was interesting how it applied. Like now it applies that anybody who comes into contact with him starts to feel a little inky. Little inky. A
little inky.
I don't know. It's interesting. I can't put it into proper words. I can't do it justice. So, what did you think?
Well, it was good. Like I think Alan's good in the ring. Obviously, he's still not the likable character you'd want him to be. As we saw right from the get-go, ripping up a sign for him. And then obviously Leon, though, he's one of those guys, man. He's just like freakishly athletic in the ring. So obviously great X Division type wrestler.
Super talent.
Yeah, so this one was going pretty darn good. But obviously you did have, I like the new term, the squidnanigans outside, as we saw the ref, the vegetarian ref, as I call him. And we see, obviously he's been reffing the Gresham matches, and he was handling the ink. He touched the ink too much, and we saw what happens when you touch the ink. It's not good. It's not
no, good. Certainly not.
Get that man some help. Thank you for the bits there. Much appreciated. The MV Parisis TV. Much appreciated. And that's a first time bit, guys. You love to see it.
Oh.
And I do like that David Penzer, he's going after Spencer about buying a book. You love to see that. Expected the signed copy for his good friend.
Oh, and I brain farted, but what was with Khan coming out breaking everybody's necks?
Oh, that's his thing now. That's his
breaking
thing.
Necks
I still have my AJ Styles t-shirt somewhere.
Who's going to break that neck too?
Breaking necks and cashing checks. And that's what Khan is right now. He's breaking necks and cashing checks. The baddest man in TNA right now. And I'm a fan. I like where Khan's going right now. Just badass is what his deal is right now. Doesn't like anybody other than, I guess, Steph. He's okay with Steph, but that's about it. So let's.
Well, yeah, because they're an alliance.
Yes.
So what's going to happen? Okay, we'll get to that later. We'll get to
it. Well, speaking of getting to, at some point we gotta. Well, usually around Slammiversary or so, you find out maybe a future Hall of Famer.
Ooh.
Maybe a former ring announcer. How about Penzer for Hall of Fame? I concur. And so does the TNI fan.
Agreed.
Oh, and look at this. Look at David Panzer. I'm loving the name drops. Little Nate. Referee Charles Robinson bought one and loved it. Pony up. You gotta love the ribbon in the chat. I love it. That ink. I don't know if I want my referees to be out there in this matches for their safety.
Yeah,
there you go. That's why the Iceman needs to be licensed. Let the Iceman do all the Gresham matches. Earn his stripes. You want to wear the shirt.
You want to be official? Well,
that's what you get.
It's good.
But
it's good stuff.
Now we have something new. We saw previously. This is now the second time. But I don't know if we briefly mentioned it. But Gabby Laspiza, formerly of Busted Open, with her own thing now, Gabby AF, is kind of doing some interview portions now. I think probably part of it was locality, being in the New York area.
Yeah.
But she's now having an interview with the one and only Jake something. Coming up with what's the origin of that name, where'd it come from, and then obviously mentioning about the loss last week, and then obviously we get Cody Deaner out there, and then doesn't seem like something is too happy with this, and Deaner brings up the people. It's not the people's fault. Blame him, which Jake does. And then he takes him out with a hell of a clothesline.
I felt like this was coming.
You felt like this was coming? They were
I had a suspicion. Yeah. Well, because
Deaner cousins colliding.
That's why I kept asking, has Cody apologized to Jake yet? And you guys were like, yeah, not really. And I'm like, okay, well, he did some shit. You can't just come back all nice guy and be like, hey, sorry about that, and not expect to get an ass whipping with the receipts.
He had some valid points. The whole violent by design error of Deaner, there's going to be repercussions. And so I know a lot of people are saying, did Jake go heel tonight with this move? Maybe.
Did he?
Or maybe not. He may have had very valid reasons.
I would say more anti-hero than anything because, Cody really did a number on him, and then you can't just, like I said, you can't just come back and not face that ass whooping with the receipts, bro.
There will be receipts. And speaking of receipts,
he kind of owed you one. You guys messed him up, and he was on a hot streak, and then you decided to hitch your wagon to his horses, and Jake wasn't having that.
Horses, all about horses.
The apology, I feel like the apology came a little too late, and it wasn't as loud as too late after trying to come back, and your apology has to be as loud as the disrespect.
No,
and I feel like Cody was lacking in that.
He was found lacking. But not lacking is the MVP Perry's TV, who with more bits. Thank you very much. Daniel Spencer talking about he might have an idea that might help with his referees. Is it a hazmat suit while reffing? Beekeeper refs?
Yeah, you got to do something. There's some alien situation stuff going on here.
That's a great question. David Penzer in the chat. Serious question. Where's my favorite promo? Dango, the dirty one. Is he still there? We haven't seen him lately. I know it was John Capital E Bravo was advertised, not as Alpha Bravo, but he was advertised as being around. Well, we know he does the work, but maybe he'll be on screen. So we'll see what happens. Let's see. Just making sure I didn't miss anything here. Oh, hard-hitting questions from Penzer. Your referees, are you confirming, Spencer, you are the chief ref? They don't like to have terms there in the reffing categories of a head, chief, senior ref. I get it. But we'll go on to after the interview. And we get a little Speedball Mountain backstage talking about that they're, due to their win, they're now going to be facing each other to determine the number one contender at Against All Odds. But like, this was their goal, like to be the best, to bring out the best wrestling they could. So they're on board with this. But do you think they're gonna be friends, or is this gonna turn into enemies, this match?
Well, Bill, in the world of wrestling, what often happens in these scenarios is that when two friends start vying for the same goal, it often ends in tragedy. And we might.
We're friends.
I was trying really hard to think of a good pun to the breakup of Speedball Mountain, but nothing came to me. So we might be
no more.
We might be Slow Hill.
Old Slow Hill.
Old, you know what I'm trying to say anyway. I don't know. I think maybe we might be done with this, and now they're going solo. Because again, we need to beef up the women's solo division. In regards to the main championship, I feel like the same needs to be a little more defined in the men's department as well. And so, the more candidates, the better. I'd like to see some hot potatoing of belts. Because we're kind of sliding back into long-term holding again, and that's all right. But let's be spicy sometimes. Let's live a little.
Spicy. Wait. Did you say spicy?
Queso, sir.
Well, speaking of spicy, I know it was a storyline, but I believe on that company down south, Christopher Daniels was fired. And you know who's spicy.
Do I? The wizard?
When I'm talking about
Hot
Christopher
sauce wizard?
Daniels.
Oh, oops. Oh!
Curry Man!
Oh, God.
If you're saying spicy, there's only one thing I think of. He's hot. He's spicy.
Curry Man. Could it be, or is that storyline?
Yeah.
Because as far as I know, there's some corporation ass shit happening up there.
Corporation
ass shit. Speedball's about to hit the mountain. There we go.
That's a good line. It's a good line.
I feel like he's going to be halted by the mountain.
Halted by the mountain. There you go. We need like a good Game of Thrones reference for the mountain, but that's now ancient history. Mountain in Game of Thrones.
Oh God! I can only pray that one day someone decides to fix all the wrong stuff with Game of Thrones, because you know how like so many years down the line they reboot everything. Like, oh God!
Well, they've already rebooted Game of Thrones, right? There's already a series.
No. What they're doing?
No, it's not a reboot. It's a different version.
It's a prequel for Game of Thrones. So what
I said, nah.
It's the history of the Targaryen family and all the crazy shit that led up to what eventually happens in Game of Thrones.
Oh, there it is.
Dani's
one of the
lineage.
Favorites.
Curry Man was awesome. Well, anything Christopher Daniels did was top notch. So I mean, it's so fresh. If it's not storyline, wow, that would be really cool. Always good to see him back. A TNA original, you know what I mean? Him, Kazarian, AJ Styles, they're all the founders, I want to say, of the X division, and so they're such pivotal players in TNA that it would be nice to see all these dudes kind of.
Speaking of the king of TNA, self-proclaimed Frankie Kazarian, who is lacking a little bit of
serotonin and guideliner.
Right.
You can't be cool badass Billy Badass and not have your eyeliner on. Come on, man.
Yeah, who do you think you are?
A little smudge. Come on.
Although he did have it, he did have his way tonight with Steve Maclin, but it really wasn't his doing. It was due to those rascals.
Those rascals.
The pain.
I'm trying to find the right words.
Ref Page got distracted.
A bitch.
I'll tell you though, that Ref Page, I don't know. A lot of these matches, a lot of shenanigans in our matches lately. Might seem like I might have to quote the great Ash by Elegance. Call the lawyers.
Call the lawyers.
Call the lawyers.
Something sus.
Something stinks around here.
That'd be cool.
It's not Generation Me, for once.
Think about all the fun storylines you could actually be doing. Like having secretly corrupt refs and like, you know what I mean? Just like you can get wild, live a little, like I keep saying. It's wrestling.
There was kind of no payoff yet. I'm not going to say there can't be. But I swear after that Ali match where he pretty much thanked referee Page that there was going to be a corrupt referee. And there is.
I'll play it.
Like,
I'll take it.
Like the Iceman and Ash keep making the accusations, but no one's really listening to them. They're falling on the deaf ears right now.
Well, that kind of happens when you're an unreliable narrator.
Now, hold on. Breaking news. Daniel Spencer's he's admitting it here.
Oh.
So we're running with this. Confirmed via the man himself, Daniel Spencer. I am the head referee. Now, is he going to make some reference that the head referee is not the guy in charge? Is this like an Al Snow thing he's got going on right now? Is he going to like pull out the head? But the head referee, because they don't usually do that, the senior official talk. Mayor is saying the Iceman don't exist anymore. Come on.
Oh, he's just a personal
concierge. We all know he's the Iceman concierge.
Well, the Iceman holds the ice bucket.
That's right. He does it all.
How do you think that champagne stays cold? It's because he's the Iceman.
So anyway. the king of TNA on a roll, but someone that looks like they're also going to be on a roll and also defeated Maclin recently is now the subject of the continuation of the sit down interview with Mike Santana.
Yes.
Talking about kind of his life, sobriety, what kind of the whole thing with his daughter. So what were your thoughts on this? Like the more we're getting to learn of Mike Santana here.
I like this personal take, and I think it really builds to the comeback storyline of someone who has been in tag for so many years of their career and now venturing as a solo act. I think it's good. I think it really adds to the momentum of him coming back and going at the solo. I like it.
Yeah, no, I like it. I think the personal touch is definitely the way to go. Help kind of, like, a lot of people know his history here, know his history not here, but to kind of put it together and the push it forward. I think those, like the Tom Hannafin sit downs, have added a lot. So definitely a great thing. Definitely a great thing to see, and wishing him all the luck in the world moving forward. But Daniel Spencer, he's confirming it here. Not Al Snow. He is the head referee or senior official, whatever you want to call it. So, official. News broken.
Good for you.
And congratulations to Daniel Spencer. He gets the Joe Hendry clap for getting there. And as David Penzer says, better watch your back.
Real quick. Did we skip this segment or do you have it out of order?
Let's see. I thought that happened right after, but maybe it happened then. Because it was a quicker segment. I know I referenced it earlier, but you know what? It probably did happen right before because it was during a commercial break. I think one was before and one was right after the commercial break, which when you watch it on YouTube, you kind of get it all mixed around. But yes, so we get the continuation of Gail with Giselle at the retreat, talking about pretty much Gail motivating her to come back.
Yeah.
Turtle.
He's trying to be on the show. He's very active right now.
He's that's an active turtle right now.
Yeah. The other one's sleeping. She's sleeping in her basket. But him, it seems like every time we film, he starts getting nuts.
That's a TV turtle right there. He could be in the movies.
He could be in the movies. This Gail and Giselle shot segment, I was kind of disappointed that it was as short as it was. I felt like it was short. The whole concept was a little too short. Like, you know me, how sometimes I'm like, okay, well, maybe we should drag things out. But I feel like to kind of explain where she's been, they could have done a little bit more with what they were trying, what the intended situation is. She's away on a retreat, so like have Gil doing like yoga and meditation with her while trying to simultaneously
you want a montage.
Well, normally that's what they do with these kind of things. If someone goes away and there's a montage, it's like a little more cinematic. It's where a good storytelling kind of comes in when they do the cinematic type things. And this was it seemed a little too easy. So are we getting a changed Giselle, or are we getting Giselle backstabbing Gail?
Yeah, because we get Giselle referencing previously what Gail told her is like don't rely on others, do it yourself, and then kind of changing, like that was the motivator pretty much.
Yeah.
But now take my hand. So like now you're right. Like is it this? It's coming off as a very face Giselle, as opposed to mainly a heel for the most part that we've seen her. Like I wouldn't say it's been 100% a heel run, but it's been like a 95% heel run.
She's the rest was probably heel,
and the rest was a tweener. Because I remember like when she first debuted, it was kind of like, oh yeah, good Giselle, but you could tell it was more of a tweener than ever a face.
Right.
Oh, there we go. Just for the heck of it. Too short? Only thing shorter was Trent's marriage. But just got to get. It's been a while since we had one of those. That's the summer of Trent's
marriage joke.
Yeah, so that's the summer of Trent is coming back. Now Daniel Spencer, I guess I got to be watching his socials closer. It's been in my bio for about a month now, but I got that title actually at Slammiversary last year and kept it quiet. I feel like he has, because I feel like we've had conversations through here about the whole senior official, and he squashed it. Oh, and here's J-Bone in the back. Will Gail Kim manage Shaw? It's giving the impression she might be in her corner.
Mentor. I'm getting mentor, but that's why I'm saying is I get the vibe that there's going to be a double cross. I don't know. We're a little too early into it. Like I'm just saying.
Hey, yo, Giselle.
Yeah.
But that it could, I could see her being, if it is, although we've seen the match before, but they even referenced it, the Jordynne and Giselle match. Like that's the loss that put her on this retreat. Like she had lost hope.
Yeah.
She reached the bottom. So if this is a build to Giselle being the Slammiversary opponent, then it would make sense to maybe have Gail in the corner if the end result is another Gail match.
Yeah.
If that's going to be like a Bound for Glory, Gail v. Jordynne or Gail v. Giselle v. Jordynne, maybe, depending on what happens. So I could see her getting involved if it's, seems like that's a possibility. I know
for sure.
Since it's in Canada, in Montreal, I know there's been a lot of speculation, and she's fed into it, is that Natty Neidhart, Natalia, and I know there's recent rumblings
that
that
makes
maybe
sense.
her contract's expiring in the near future as well. So
I saw those messages in the chat a little while ago, but I was like, that doesn't make sense. I don't know, because that would be really cool. Natty is legendary in wrestling, considering how long she's been in the business, the family she comes from, etc. But is she done with WWE? I mean, how do you? That's being there.
I
for
find that more
reigning.
hard to believe. I find that more hard to believe. But I think because of the Jordynne working WWE, like the Rumble, they could make an agreement for a one-off or a small program.
Okay,
like they've been saying her to NXT. Like Natalia's been working at NXT recently. So could that be?
Have her come in and do a small tour and see how I love that idea. That I feel like that would be really monumental if WWE really starts like doing that in the indies, like wrestling. Give back to the community a little bit, you know what I mean? Like, oh my God, where's one of our superstars going to show up, even though they're still contracted, maybe still contracted with WWE?
And there is obviously a trend. Like we saw, obviously, Jordynne show up there. We did see during Mania week, Shayna Baszler show up at Bloodsport at the Collective with GCW.
Yeah.
So there has been some of these things going on. So I wouldn't say it's not a possibility. I think a couple years ago, I'd probably say it wasn't a possibility. Like pre-Mickie James in the Rumble.
I think that's good for business. Instead of being so competitive, WWE is always going to be at the top. Like, I don't know. I don't know.
Everybody now, especially with the stuff with TKO, like that's a behemoth. Like, the whole idea of any company
competing,
replacing them,
period.
Just competing. Like you see, there is no real competition
anymore. Not anymore. And it's not a negative thing. I feel like that just because there is no more competition. That's why, all these, maybe not all the companies, because I get it. But like the biggest company giving back to the community, that you know what I mean? Like, I think that's what's good for business.
How it should be, because I think that was always the idea where, like, I think a lot of the fan base would go like all the indies and then the next biggest promotions, like the TNAs, the MLWs, all these other ones should work together.
Yeah.
To band together to like be that alternative where you have like one versus everybody.
Mm-hmm.
But in the end, most companies it's tough to work together to certain levels. Like, because I remember seeing that like the Ring of Honor, New Japan for years. Like you can work together to an extent, but when it comes to booking people over each other from other companies, that's where it becomes an issue. Because nobody wants their own people to lose. But that's what it comes down at the end. That's what it comes down to at the end.
It should be about the love of wrestling, and guess what? There's always going to be a winner and a loser, and it shouldn't really matter.
From your speaking it to the wrestling world.
I put it in the universe. I just think of it as it would encourage people to want to go to shows more, even if it's just local. Like, you know what I mean? Like, GCW is a big deal. There's so many companies scattered throughout the United States and every other country, quite frankly, that it would just be interesting, especially if they're like a reputable company. I think it would just be good, especially it would encourage people to buy tickets more and actually be encouraged to go to live shows. You know what I mean? Yeah. Especially for some people, a lot of those indie shows are a lot closer to y'all than where WWE goes.
Yep.
In major cities and stuff like that. So
something to keep an eye on. We'll keep an eye on.
Sorry, we got sidetracked, guys.
No. And we'll next we're keeping an eye on it, once again in their luxury box.
Yes, I like this.
First class. Scouting out the competition for some championships. They want some gold. So they're watching all the champions in the biggest main event in TNA history, the Champions Challenge match. All champions, everybody from the World Heavyweight title, X Division, digital media,
current champions.
All current champions.
Okay, versus everybody else.
Versus All-Stars. The TNA All-Stars. So, big match here. We'll go over all the competitors real quick because it's a list. So, you have obviously the champions. You got the system. Moose, Eddie, Myers. You got the and Lish, one half of the Knockout Tags, along with Masha. And then you got the ones not part of the system. Ali, Jordynne Grace, Laredo Kid. Against the ultimate platypus, as you would probably call it, of Matt Hardy.
They're both platypus teams.
Eric Young, Joe Hendry, Sami Callihan, Steph DeLander, and Spitfire. So, honestly, for a match like this is an undertaking, a match like this. So many people.
Triggered my ADD.
Just to not make it look like a total quagmire out there is going to have to be a feat. And I think they did it pretty well because they made sure only a couple people, it was almost like a baseball game. Like you had a batter, you had someone on deck, and then you had someone in the hole, literally. You had everybody not on the ring apron, just two people on the ring apron. So if you had more, you wouldn't even see the match because it would just be surrounded by people. So I think that was a smart move. But yet everybody did get in there, did their stuff, did some spots. Jody Thread had a great spot in this match. A lot of people did a lot of their calling card type stuff. So I thought a lot of that back and forth was pretty good. In the end, we see what happened. Joe Hendry, the one who said he was working on his follow-up to I Believe in Joe Hendry. So watch out, music world. Another hit is coming your way. But he gets the win, which is in this big match. That's a huge. Oh, yeah, and let's not forget Ali, who's claiming still undefeated because he left the match midway through and put the champions at a big disadvantage. But partly because the system was not working with Ali. They would not let him in.
The disrespect, bro.
Disrespecting the champs.
Well, I mean, that's why they lost.
That is why you could say
you don't play nice with others. It tends to come back and bite you in the ass. And
they got bit.
They took got a big bit
out of that champion ass.
Done.
But and once again, good. He hits the standing ovation for the win. But really, even like I said, they did a good job with that match. But then, really, what happened after, which we alluded to, is kind of what you're left with. And we get PCO. So once he gets shocked to life, he's carrying a black bag to the ring. Now, Alisha, before we find out what isn't in and is not in that bag, what did you think was in that bag?
A snake.
I think everybody thought there was a snake because the way it was filled with stuff, it gave the illusion of an old Jake the Snake Damien entrance. Like it really did feel like there was a snake in that bag and he pulls out some stuff and it's like they had to put that in there with the idea that you would think it might be a snake. It feels like somebody backstage was having fun. Like it may have just been like someone like kind of been like, that's just for my enjoyment. But it felt like because I thought it, and I think other people thought it too. It's like, that looks like but it wasn't really moving, but it's like it has the shape of a snake.
Yeah.
But I like some ideas here. Khan's head. But obviously it's not. He takes out some other random things, but in the end he pulls out a black rose.
There was a lamp in that bag.
There was a lamp in there too.
The first thing he pulls out is a fucking lamp.
He's like, okay. You never know what's in his bag. It's not my bag, baby.
Sorry. He gets the rose out.
He did get the rose out.
And hands it to a very perplexed but not uninterested
first
or Steph DeLander.
But yeah, so she at first seems like, I don't know what's going on. I don't know what's going on. And then, okay, smile. So, then it seems like PCO is very happy at this. A lot of people talking about the lamp. A lot of people love lamp.
I
think it's shattered. But not that black rose. So what do you think? What are we in store for with PCO
I think
and Steph DeLander?
This is going to complicate her relationship with Khan.
Okay.
Her partnership, I should say.
Khan and PCO do not like each other.
Are not big fans of each other. And this might complicate some things, but it seems like Steph DeLander is a wily vixen and therefore is going to fox her way. When
she wouldn't do such a thing.
No, God, why would she? I think while Matt is out on injury, she needs to have alliances, and this is going to get interesting, is all I'm going to say.
Will she use PCO as a pawn to get her way, to do her bidding?
Yes.
I could.
But like I said, though, this could complicate, because again, we already know she's business partners with Khan, so it's like, how will this end up playing out? Will it complicate? Will they all work as a team, or will there be dissension? I don't know. It's good. I think this new vision of TNA is really starting to catch its footing with things. So now we're slowly starting to see better storyline telling with more established situations with the wrestlers and stuff like that. So this is good. I think they're going in a good direction with it.
There's a lot of storylines going on right now, like from the Gresham stuff with the ink, like and stuff like the Rosemary coming back. Like, there's going to be a big angle there. You got the stuff with now Steph and PCO. You got a lot of stuff like just out of the normal wrestling storylines. You have the more from all over the map, the supernatural, the like all over the place, like, which is like what was a calling card of TNA and Impact a few years ago.
Yeah.
Times probably got away from, because I think there was the idea maybe that like everyone wants real wrestling. And I think the world tells you that's not the case. It's all about storylines. Get good wrestling in there, which you always do. And especially for like the pay-per-views and stuff. But for TV, you need stories. And
you need stories.
You got a boatload of them going on right now.
And that's important too, because think about it, even though Gresham physically wasn't on tonight, having that situation with the ref coughing up the black ink, it made you think, oh shit, Gresham, even though he's not here, you're still thinking about that in between whatever week, because sometimes I feel with rosters like that, you have to kind of split it up where 1 week you're seeing certain people storylines and then the following week. And so keeping people in the back of people's brains is like really important to storytelling. And, just because you aren't physically seeing it, it's still mentally there. So I think they're getting their footing, and again, good things take time, and considering the changes TNA has gone through since the beginning of the new year, basically, the vision is changing as it needs to when it's under new management and stuff like that. And I think they're finally getting their footing. So sorry to repeat myself a bunch of times.
But no, that's I think that's what we're seeing. I think like you saw like a little bit, and I mentioned it previously. If I think internally that the people thought the same thing, it's like, okay, what are we doing for like a loop or two? Like it took a month or so to be like, okay, where are we gonna go from here? But it seems like now they're just their foot's on the gas right now. And you're going in all these directions. And just like anything else, not all storylines might not be for you, but you'll find something in there. Like you might like this, not like this, like this, not like this. Love these matches, but not like this storyline. But that's what you want there. If you're just doing one thing, that's when you only appeal to one kind of person. You got to do all these things.
And that's how it was feeling. It was feeling very repetitive. Nobody was standing out from each other. Everything seemed very linear. And it's wrestling. Let's have some chaos. Let's have some creative writing, all within reason, of course. You know what I mean? Let's explore venues. And I think we're getting there.
Yeah, I'm loving a reference to possibly the weirdest, greatest love triangle since Jay Lethal's Sanjay Dutt and SoCal Val. Good throwback.
I've seen weirder.
There has been some weird ones.
That was pretty normal considering.
Some of the weird
I've seen some
triangles.
Bizarre love triangles. Like here's one, even though it's WCW. Daphne, David Flair, and Stacy Keibler.
There you go.
Now that was a love triangle for the ages, okay?
Anytime you get David Flair involved, you're talking.
Strange times. But yeah, also I wanted to say, like, these little touches, like putting Top Dollar and Rich Swann up in the VIP box for the last match, that's fucking great. Again, even though they're not physically involved with anything for the show, they're still somehow involved in subtle, simple ways. Like, you can kill two birds when you get a great big match for the main event, but you're also seeing other characters interacting with that big match. I take it as that team scouting every single person that was in that match, especially the champions.
So some of the acts right now, like First Class, they're chef's kissing right now with First Class. Like they're doing everything right. Like they're set up to be tag team champions or a solo title. Like either of them could wind up like AJ
X Division and digital media.
Yeah, and I believe that is a match coming up. I think that's going to happen on TV. That's an advertised match. AJ versus Laredo Kid. So that would not shock me because he is a social media magnet. So no, a lot of interesting things happening as we're on the road right now to Against All Odds in Chicago. And then obviously followed by the big Slammiversary in Montreal. So a lot of things on the horizon right now for TNA. We're just going to have to stay tuned. Obviously, a lot's going to happen this weekend in the greater Cincinnati area, i.e. Kentucky. But we'll see where that takes us. And then Chicago from there. But good episode tonight. Obviously, big main event there. A lot of things happened. But I think a lot of storylines, as we were just saying, really coming together, getting started, really, and will take us, hopefully, through the summer. But a lot of things to look forward to. Any last thoughts, Alisha, before we shut it down for tonight?
Great show. Take the time to watch it again, and enjoy.
There you go. Two times. So thanks again, everybody. If you haven't already, definitely hit the like button, ring the bell for notifications, for you can always make sure to get it when TNI goes live, or if you're watching the replay or listening to us via all the podcast platforms. definitely check us out. We always appreciate all the communication and the back and forth with the live chat, and then on the Discord as well. Jump in there, and obviously always comment after the fact or hit us up on the socials. You know where to find us. If not, read the description below. But once again, thanks, Alisha, J-Bone. Hope you enjoyed it in the backstage, in the chat. Definitely see you next week. And hey, for those that I'll see this weekend, I'll see you in that greater Cincinnati area. So looking forward to seeing you. Come say hi. And until next Thursday, we will see you later. Good night, everybody.
Night.